It's the Patriots and the Jets. It's hot and humid at Giant Stadium, and a heated rivalry about to be rekindled. Brett Favre starting his home debut in the Jet uniform. There is Matt Cassel. What will life be like for the Patriots after Tom Brady, with Cassel getting his first start today? Hello, friends. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms. Going to be interesting to see what unfolds here with these quarterbacks.
Well, that's why you talk about the quarterbacks. Brett Favre is a second regular season game, another week of practice, getting more familiar with his teammates and the playbook. And for Matt Cassel, of course, the first start, the big theme of the Patriots is we are a team. It's not just strictly about our quarterback, and that's what they did.
Well, this game is brought to you in high definition here on CBS. Now, the Patriots won the toss, and Belichick elects to defer to the second half. So Kostowski will kick it away to New York. And it's a good boot. No chance for this one to be returned. Flies about 3 yards beyond the back of the end zone, and here comes Brett Favre. He started week 2 a year ago here at Giant Stadium. Of course, in a Packer uniform, threw 3 touchdown passes. The Green Bay defeated New York that day and increased that record now to 255 consecutive regular season starts. Some cheese heads and some cheesecake heads here at Giant Stadium. Favre coming off a win last week in Miami. 2 touchdown passes and no picks. It's Thomas Jones, who ran for over 100 against the Dolphins, and off right side for about 3. It's hot today, but not quite like last week in Miami. And Favre was fatigued at the end of that game. Put up good numbers as the Jets held on for that 20-14 victory. His line, it's a good one now with the offseason acquisitions of Faneca and Woody. We do have a flag on the field. Coles hobbled a week ago, had only 1 grab. That was on the first play of the game, but he says he's close to 100% now. Again, Jones over 100, and Cotry had the big touchdown catch. So the Jets had 12 men in the huddle, so that backs them up to the 18. So Jones trying to run off to the side as Leon Washington joined the huddle, but it'll be 2nd and 12, backing them up to the 18. Great protection for Favre. Gives it up to Leon Washington, who spins out to about the 25. Tackled by O'Neal. Gain of 6. 3rd and 4 coming up. This New England defense up front, about as good as it gets. Warren, Wilford, Seymour. Rabel, big week a week ago. The rookie first-rounder Mayo was in on every snap against Kansas City. Bruschi and Thomas. O'Neal stepping up. There always seems to be a common thread with New England. Injuries in the secondary. O'Neal on one side, Hobbs on the other. 3rd and 4 for the Jets. And again, Favre has time to get it over to Cotry. First down. Hobbs goes down low, and then Mayo finishes him off along with Harrison, but it gains 20 yards for New York.
The fact that Brett Favre moves in the pocket, his initial read down the field, nobody open, and what a good job. Jericho Cotry, when you hold the football and the defense is looking at you, and you give the quarterback that extra second, holes open up, and receivers like that time Cotry runs through the defense and is wide open.
They were conservative a week ago on first down, running the great majority of the time. They ran on first down to open this game. What will they do from the 46? Back to Jones. And it's a good run, galloping all the way down to the 37, ridden down by Rodney Harrison. DeBrickashaw Ferguson creates quite an opening that springs them for 17 yards.
Well, something they did last week, and what did Brett Favre say to you, Jim? He goes, hey, if it's up to me, we'd have ran that football a lot more. When it works, let's stay with it. And it's the formation, spreading out the Patriots defense, and good blocking. DeBrickashaw Ferguson, the Jets say, doesn't even resemble the player last year. 1 a year older, and Alan Faneca is next to him, which has really helped him.
At the New England 37. Squeezes through a small opening. Favre thought Jones could have had 150. for last week, and he's off to a good start here. Thomas Jones. What about your philosophies here for the Jets?
Well, I got a lot of them today. We'll go through them as the game goes along, but just little thoughts. The New England Patriots, Matt Cassel, he wants to know what will the Jets do to our offense because they change up a lot even when Tom Brady's the quarterback. And for the Jets, I think it's about ball security. Last week at times they were a little careless. Brett Favre fumbled. You can't take the chances with the football when you're running or throwing against this New England defense.
2nd and 4 after the Jones 6-yard run. He moves over to a slot on the left side. Favre looks right now. He's going to go left side, and that's Bruschi batting it down. It was attempted to Thomas Jones.
Well, the initial pass protection we've watched on this opening drive has been very good by the Jets. And just talking to them, what about their offense against New England's defense? And don't try to trick them. Just line up and let's just try to outplay them. And that's really a good thought. It's hard to trick a defense that is never over aggressive. So they're going to make you march down the field and really earn everything.
A 3rd and 4. Leon Washington lined up, slot left, and timeout called by Favre. With 11:10 to go this opening drive, Jets move it into Patriot territory. 3rd down on the way after the break.
Well, Brett Favre, did he call the formation wrong in the huddle? Did the players make the mistake? No matter what happens, Eric Mangini says, I've seen enough. And that's all he does is yell at Brett Favre during practice. The play clock, hurry up.
3rd down and 4. 7th play of this opening drive. Wide open for the first. Leon Washington. Just inside the 20. It gains 13.
Just a well-designed play. Leon Washington comes out of the backfield. It's a blitz. And nobody is there to pick up Leon Washington out of the backfield.
1st down, says Leon.
Well, if the Patriots want Brett Favre to throw off his back foot, he's done it about 6 times already, but it hasn't stopped him from getting 1st down.
Now they'll operate from the 19. Back to Jones on 1st down. Able to squirt through for about 2 yards. New England in the last 25 regular season games has only allowed 1 touchdown on the opening drive. You see the history between these two. New England with a 20-game win streak in the regular season. It's the longest regular season win streak in the history of the league. The Jets, impressive here to start it. 2nd down and 8. Well protected to the end zone and over the head of Patry. He was open. Hobbs comes over for the coverage at the end.
Yeah, he was open, but initially it looked like very good coverage by Ellis Hobbs. He sees it. He's playing it from the outside in, and that is not pass interference. They go through the middle. Nice double move to the outside, but nice reaction by Ellis Hobbs. You are allowed, as I say every week, to put your hand on the receiver. He didn't pull him. It had nothing to do with the incompletion. Just good defense.
Chancey Stuckey in as an extra receiver. Keller, rookie tight end, also in. 3rd down and 8. Stepping up, gonna run for it. Favre slides about 2 yards short.
I tell you, he slides forward. Good job moving up. Nobody open, but it looked like Mike Vrabel almost knocked the football out of Brett Favre's hands. But down the field, I see nothing open. Maybe out here, but that's not even in Brett Favre's initial read. He's looking down the middle of the field, and that's where the Patriots had their focus on, and they covered the receiver.
Former Giant kicker, Dolphin kicker a year ago, Jay Feely, signed this week. Beat out David Rayner, Aaron Elling in a tryout. 31-yard field goal attempt. Jay Feely, ooh, that one not pretty. Jay Feely missed only twice all of last season down in Miami. It was 21 of 23. And the Jets get nothing out of it. Over 6 minutes, they drive down to the 13-yard line. Nothing out of it.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. KFC's new original recipe strips. Life tastes better with KFC. And by Bud Lime, the superior drinkability of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor.
Jim Nantz and Phil Simms were back, and here's Matt Cassel under center, starting a game for the first time in his NFL career. It's a handoff to begin it with Lawrence Maroney, and a gain of 2 for 26-year-old Matt Cassel. It's his first start since 1999 at Chatsworth High School in Southern California in a state high school playoff game. Back up at USC, back up since being drafted in 2005 for the Patriots. He did go 3/4 of the way last week in the victory over Kansas City, and what was vital to him, in Matt's own words, was getting the starts in all 4 preseason games this year, with Brady at the time nursing a foot injury. Cassel's first pass, and it's a good one. It's over to Falk, who glides out of bounds after picking up the first. A gain of 14. That line we've come to know at New England. Yates starting on the right side with Stephen Neal out. Maroney, we'll see a lot of Morris today. Thomas is the tight end as Benjamin Watson sits down with a knee. First down, back to Maroney. He ran into Billy Yates, his own man, and then Chris Jenkins stops him after gaining 3. This Jets defense, they shut down the run last week down in Miami. Sean Ellis, Jenkins picked up in the offseason, and Coleman. Thomas had a couple of sacks with the Dolphins last week. Barton very active in that game. Revis and a rookie Lowry on the corners. 3 receivers set coming up for New England. Gaffney enters the game on the left side. And another completion to Cassel, cutting across the middle. It's Welker. And when we met, that's 17 yards. When we met with Cassel last night, you were quite impressed with his confidence level, Phil.
Well, we've talked to him in preseason games before, Jim, and I noticed last night he seemed to be calmer and just feeling good about what was going to go on in this game. And the big reason is like he said, pressure staying on the sideline, not knowing when you go in. This week I practiced, got to take all the reps because I was a starter.
First down, the 3rd consecutive first down. They run it with Maroney, and it gets up about 6. So again, the last time he started the game, there he is out in California at Chatsworth High School.
Nice throw.
And he's also a safety throwing down the ball carrier.
What's impressive in high school is the same size as he is right now. His nickname when he was young was Moose because he's a big boy. Well, let me just say this. So many people have talked about him.
It was Sammy Morris for about 2. Well, Cassel, you talked about Moose. He was on that Northridge, California team that went to Williamsport and played in the Little League World Series title game, lost to Venezuela. There he is, Moose, at 5'4", 126. In that World Series, he was 6 for 14, pretty impressive. 3rd down and 2. And that's good for the first. Hard running by Sammy Morris.
Well, what I'm going to say about Matt Cassel is the fact, just remember this. Jim, we've chronicled it. He went to USC. He never started, but he was still drafted. And in this league, you know, that's all you hear. Well, what did he do against the competition and all that other stereotypical stuff that you hear constantly. Never played and was drafted by one of the best teams in the NFL.
Over 2,500 days since the Patriots started someone other than Tom Brady. And Cassel hits Welker. And Revis finally able to drag him down, but all the way to the 5. That picks up 26.
And this is something the Patriots, they just became so good at last year. Shotgun, first down. They learned to their way of running the football when they spread the field is throwing those quick passes behind the line of scrimmage, and why not? And Wes Welker, there's been talk Maybe not as quick as he was last year because of all-season surgery. But today, against his team in his first drive, he looks pretty quick with the football in his hands.
He's thrown 4 passes. They've all 4 gone for first downs. Now he has a 1st and goal. Cassel flings it and over the head of Welker. His first incompletion. Lowry, the rookie, was guarding Welker with that one.
You know, the other thing that came up too, Jim, when you said it to, I think you were asking, well, Bill Belichick, will you you give him the whole offense and
they don't go for the whole playbook every game.
Yeah.
They set up a game plan for one team.
We gave him the whole game plan. That's what we do every single week. And he has it all, maybe to be fitted a little bit to his talent more than with Tom Brady. But
that's Kevin Falk down to the 2. 3rd and goal coming up. Kerry Rhodes steps up to make the hit. And plus, he's been in the system for so long, Phil. It's not like just signed this season. Cassel.
Yeah, you know, the fact that he didn't get into some of the games late last year, as people talk about, he needed to experience a few handoffs and a couple throws were not going to make the difference. The preseason action that he got, so much of it under rough conditions. No game planning, backup linemen. That's what got him ready for today.
3rd and goal. And shotgun and a timeout. Timeout called by the Jets.
Watch Kerry Rhodes. He's going to call a timeout. Was the wrong defense called? Did they come out in a formation he wasn't ready for? I don't know. It's not such a big deal in my mind using the timeouts in the first half of games. But last week, Jim, an overriding factor in the outcome of a lot of NFL games, teams mishandling their timeouts in the second half when they become very, very important. But when you're talking about scoring plays, which this is, that's different. Always use your timeouts to prevent or to give yourself a chance to score.
Second one used by the Jets. 3rd and goal. And Maroney is met behind the line of scrimmage by Kerry Rhodes, who called that timeout.
Jets weren't going to sit back and react. They attacked. The Patriots condensed the formation. Kerry Rhodes to the outside. To the left of your screen. Crashes down inside, and there's nothing. Well, Randy Moss just can't keep him out of there. Let's see if he's blocked. Would he score? No, he still wouldn't have scored. Jets had 3 defenders, beat their man, and got in that backfield.
Stephen Gostkowski with Hansen on the hold. Hansen snaps it back. Perfect. Patriots produced 3 on their opening series.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dodge. Introducing the all-new Dodge Journey. If you can dream it, do it. Dodge. Grab life. And by Turbo HD by Dish Network.
And the Patriots kept it for almost 6 minutes. They had 1st and goal at the 5, but end up with just the field goal, 21 yards by Gostkowski. Again, thunderfoot here.
Wow.
Not even. Wow. It's not that breezy down there today. We'll see Favre and the Jets for the second possession in a moment. Get the fully customizable keeper league you've always wanted with Fantasy Football Commissioner at cbssports.com/fantasy. Well, Gostkowski's kickoff traveled 83 yards. Another touchback from the 20. Favre going deep. Patry and knocked away by Hobbs.
Yeah, it's just good positioning by Ellis Hobbs. The design by the Jets, it's good. It opens up the hole. They're running the route. The tight end, Bubba Franks, comes up the field. Sanders has him inside. But Ellis Hobbs really just outruns the football the inside. Perfect angle, and that is twice, and he's played it almost the same type of play. Twice he's played it perfectly.
First time New York had it. Jets drove 67 yards. Over 6 minutes they had it. Missed field goal, and that's Thomas Jones for just a yard. We've got an update over to James Brown across the river. JB.
All right, Jim and Phil, Michael Pittman doing the job for Denver. 5 plays, 29 yards. That coming off of a Champ Bailey pick. And it's Denver on top of San Diego in the first by the score of 7-0. Jim Nance, Phil Simms.
Thank you, JB. And I know that LaDainian Tomlinson was questionable with a toe injury all week. He did see action on that first series for the Chargers. He find themselves down 7-0 and having lost their first game to Carolina a week ago. Third down and 9. Seal on that pocket for Favre. Fires it over to Coles. Had his hands on it, but it slips through.
Oh, that was a terrific throw to the outside by Brett Favre. Lavernius Coles not feeling well. Top of your screen last week. Well, they got the perfect coverage on it. And look at that. Wide receivers, I said it. Takes them a while to get in rhythm and really get into the flow of the game. And Lavernius Coles needs a couple catches.
It's been Graham. On the Kevin Falk. On the run, he fields it. 38-yard line, up ahead 50 and into New York territory at the 48. 40-yard boot, 14-yard run back, and just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, worst week, a new comedy begins Monday, September 22nd, right here on CBS. So a 3 and out for New York, second time they've had it. And how about Cassel's play with that first drive?
Oh, well, shoot. If there were any nerves, we didn't see it, and having success and throwing it the way he did, that would put me into the flow of the game and make me feel good.
Walker. That's good for about 9.
And passes like that, I could go 2 for 4. I could hit those every once in a while. I don't know if I get out of my hand quick enough, but even those sometimes short passes can be difficult for quarterbacks. They got to be very crisp and they got to be right on target. And so far, that is Matt Cassel doing it right.
One thing about it, though, these passes may not be traveling that far in the air, but they've got a lot of zip on them.
Hey, look, what did Bill Belichick say? The Patriots, I've watched him in person. It's not going to be for lack of talent if he doesn't get it done.
Kid's got a big arm, and that's a first down. Gain by Maroney. 3 yards overall.
And I'll never forget, we were up there watching practice one day, and I always wondered, all right, what are the Patriots doing? Drafting Matt Cassel at USC. But I knew about him out of USC. I'd heard some people talk about him. Could have won the job. Some thought he should have, whatever, with over Matt Leinart. But I watched him in practice one day, and Tom Brady turned to look at him, and he goes, pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is. That's what he said. It's Maroney to the 34. A gain of 2. And of course, Tom Brady, a week ago, with the torn ACL, MCL, and his season finishes so fast, so similar. We talked about it. We were in Miami last week, but when we heard of the Brady injury, we thought back to Vinny Testaverde on this field in '99.
Yeah,
Coach Belichick was on that Jet staff, and last night we didn't even prompt him. He brought it up about how similar that was.
Jets thought they were going to the Super Bowl that year.
Second down pass play. Down to the 30 with Welker. Picks up 4. That'll close out quarter number 1. 3-0 New England, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. And both teams with a win on opening week, and you see first quarter Cassel 6 out of 7, 4 of them to Welker. Start the second quarter. Jim Nance, Phil Simms here at Giant Stadium. 3rd down and 4 for New England. They're looking left the whole way, and off the bounce, off the deflection, Falk makes the catch for the first. Gains 9.
Good job by the Jet defense. A lot of movement, trying to cause confusion, and Calvin Pace gets to the inside. But how about Kevin Falk? He just, so many years, has done it, so many different things for the New England Patriots. So versatile, can block, can run, catches it.
got Heath Evans down here on the bottom of the screen. Fullback lined up wide on first down. Maroney carry with a gaping hole. Tries to bounce off Eric Smith, and Smith holds on. Only a gain of 3.
What a tackle. When that foot, Maroney, fast, big, strong, got it all. Now you tell me right here, how many yards is he going to get? And then Eric Smith squares up and doesn't give another inch. Good job of getting off the block by Eric Smith and stopping. He gets around there clean. It's down inside the 5-yard line, so tackling looking better. Second week of the NFL.
Sammy Morris, the running back, flanking Cassel. Lines up shotgun. Second down and 7, and just barely beats the play clock. And that pass, his worst throw so far. It was behind an open Welker.
Yeah, he's wide open, and it's just too hard, too fast. And probably the 2 best quarterbacks, well, it just so happens they're probably the 2 best quarterbacks inside. Watch him coming in. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, they're tall. They play even taller. They stand in the pocket, and you get their arm really high and throw it soft in situations like that. It just takes experience and playing time. And Matt Cassel will learn it.
And a timeout called by New England. They will face third down out of the break. Now the Patriots, going back to last season, have scored in the red zone 23 straight possessions inside the 20, including a field goal today on their first touch. This is their second drive. They face a 3rd and 7. Have to get to the 11 for the first. And that's thrown away. He's looking for Dave Thomas.
Yeah, he had the right play on. They had the right one. David Thomas is going to do a double move. Nobody's in center field, but he goes in front of the defender instead of behind him, and watch it. And there's to the right, 86. Going to go up, a little fake outside. Go up the seam so you can let the quarterback throw it high. Especially against the blitz. Can't wait forever.
37-yard try for Gostowski. There is a flag as he boots it square middle.
They'll decline it, I would think.
It was 4th and 7. Drew Coleman may have jumped for the Jets.
Offside, number 30 defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play.
John Perry says the penalty is declined. It's 6-0 New England, early second quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Jack Championship Barbecue, new at TGI Fridays restaurants. Give me more Fridays. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. And by Sprint. Get NFL Mobile Live only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.
Inside the NFL Wednesdays on Showtime. Phil, you're there with JB, Warren Sapp, Chris Collinsworth. How was it week 1?
You're asking me to...
You were there, I wasn't.
To critique myself? Well,
have a good time hanging out with the guys?
No, it was good. Learned a lot of football. I'm telling you the truth. Warren Sapp taught me a lot about defense.
For the 3rd time in this game, Gostowski forces a touchback. Actually didn't force anything the first time, just knocked it all the way to the back of the end zone. And this one deep as well, unreturnable. So far back out. Favre was burning up at the end of that game last week in Miami. He said his feet were on fire.
You know, his rendition of the game in Miami. First off, Miami's pretty stout. They're pretty good. Didn't underestimate them. They're pretty good, this, that. And then his feet, he goes, they didn't play any longer. My feet were on fire. New shoes. The field was hot. He's sweating. Playing his first full game as a Jet.
Here goes Thomas Jones, who collides rather quickly for only a gain of a yard.
Yeah, you know, Jim, in his game last week against the Dolphins, it was everything the Jets wanted and they hoped for. He made some plays. He used his big arm. He moved around, and you know, it might not show up today, but last week, his ability to throw did open up the defense and let Thomas Jones have that good day running. Even if you open up the New England Patriots, still hard to run against his front seven.
Second down and 9. See if his arm's on fire. Looking deep. Nothing there. Tough pass.
Oh, boy. If that was on target.
Could have been gone the other way. That was Delta O'Neal closing in on Thomas Jones.
Patriots. What was the word on defense? Patience. Stay in your spot. He moves around. He runs left. He looks left. He'll throw back across the field. So always be patient and play your discipline. And if this comes out of Brett Favre's hand clean, look how long this takes. And the Patriots, they play a defense, they're going to be watching you. So it's harder to get them out of position. And it's one of the reasons why it's hard to get big pass plays against the way they play pass coverage.
He's missed on his last 4 throws. It's third down and 9. Lost the body throw, and Lavernius Cole snaps it. He's got open room. Baker in front with a block. And Coles to the 24 of New England.
Well, was that an example of everything we just talked about?
Dead on.
They all were in position, but here's what makes it happen. Delta O'Neal goes in front, thinking that Lavernius Coles is going to keep going across, but Brett Favre's movement and buying the extra time, and of course, a terrific throw with velocity and right on target.
Coles comes out grimacing. Remember, he had that thigh injury that had healed quite a bit since last week. It was a 54-yard pass play. And Thomas Jones brings it to about the 22, gain of 3.
And that play energized this crowd again. It energizes the New York Jets football team. Jim, you were there. You were on Friday. We watched practice. There was a lot of energy there. And look, I'm not overstating by any means. It's because Brett Favre. It's the way he practices, the way he handles himself. It just gives guys energy and makes them feel good.
Tony Richardson lined up as the fullback. Signed in the offseason, away with the Vikings. He comes out now, leaving Jones alone. No running left with Jones. Back at the edge. But nothing there. Lewis Sanders bounces him out.
Just, I said it. Vince Wilfork, Ty Warren, Richard Seymour. If I gave you 7 guys to block 3, you'd still only gain 5 most of the time running the football. They are built to hold it up and to string it out and let everybody else run and make the tackle.
So they got the football right at the 20, and Lavernius Coles re-enters.
That's a great strength of this Patriots defense. The weakness, the speed, sideline to sideline sometimes hurts, and the speed trying to rush the quarterback. Boy, he is trying the cadence.
Has a hard time on the handle. Fires complete to Stuckey for the first down. Picks up 6. Chancey, Stuckey looking good. Caught a touchdown a week ago. Second-year player out of Clemson. Brett had a hard time handling this one.
Yeah, it was a big-time knuckleball flying everywhere coming back. But the throw, that's what's impressive. He throws it low. He knows it. He saw Rodney Harrison there.
Hurry up to the line. Leon Washington takes up 1 tackle. Inside the 5, down to the 2. Broke away from Rodney Harrison.
That is good game management by Brett Favre and the New York Jet coaching staff. Keeping the pace going. And this is just nothing but talent. Leon Washington, he is the sideline to sideline guy, and that's what you want against this New England defense. Somebody that can make you miss.
Pierre Woods is down for New England, so an injury timeout. And the Jets have first and goal from the 3.
Pierre Woods, 58. Vince Wilfork falls on him. That's why he's out of the game. Knocked his breath out. Got up and ran off the field there.
First and goal. After the 11-yard gain by Leon Washington. Thomas Jones. One slash, picks up a yard.
You know, Jim, going back to Leon Washington, when you play the Patriots, I've said it many, they're big. So when you have size and you play their style of defense, you're going to give up something. So every team that we cover, when they go against this Patriots team, they want to get their small guys in space. And that's what happened that last play with Leon Washington getting out in space.
Yep. Wayne Hunter, number 78, is eligible on that right side for the Jets. Here's the receiver. Going to run it, though. Thomas Jones again, 1 yard closer. Harrison comes up to stop the gap. Seal it. 3rd and goal from the 1 on the way.
Wow, that's one of those. The offensive coaches, they go, well, let's run this. The outside guy's unblocked, but he'll never get there. We'll get up in there before he can make the tackle. Rodney Harrison made the tackle.
Had 5 plays, the Jets, inside the 20, no touchdown. Failed on a field goal try the first time they moved inside the 20. 3rd down and goal. For the 3rd straight time, and the Patriots read it out with Richard Seymour. 3 straight carries by Thomas Jones, and that one lost 2.
Hard to move them out. It's just Richard Seymour, 93, outside. Just what's he do? Oh, he comes from the inside. He had the wrong player. That was Adalys Thomas on the outside.
Well, Faneca took care of his man, but everything else was just come crashing through. It's going to be Feely from 21 after missing from 31. That last miss was the first time he'd missed from inside 40 in his last 22 kicks. For the new streak now, that's right down the alley for Feely, and the Jets are on the board. They break down inside the 3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by E-Trade.
You know, the Jets, they had a 6-minute drive in that first quarter. Got nothing out of it this time. 77 yards, including 1st and goal at the 3. And Coles with the 54-yard run and catch. Catch and run by Coles. Ellis Hobbs back deep to receive this kick. He had a 100-yard run back last year against the Jets. The all-time NFL record. Here is Hobbs. We call this one 4 yards out. 4 yards deep. Into the Eric Smith. One more collision at the 27. And what about Randy Moss? He has not been thrown to so far.
No, he hasn't been thrown to yet, but they are looking his way. Darrelle Revis is matching up with him, it looks like, a lot of the times. And sometimes when Randy Moss is on one side of the field and 3 receivers are on the other side, that's up to the quarterback if he wants to take a chance and throw it up there. But so far, the Jets, they've kept a free guy or a free defender over there watching Randy Moss.
And that kid Revis in his 2nd year out of Pittsburgh's pretty good, too, on Moss. On the other side away from Moss. Cassel now keeps it. And a flag at the end. Calvin Pace coming over along with Sean Ellis. Going to be a face mask, it looks like.
Personal foul, face mask, number 92 defense.
On Ellis.
15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic, 1st down.
I couldn't see it. I was looking down the field. Nobody open for Matt Cassel. Oh, yes. Grabbed it right away, pull it. And everybody knows this year, no incidental face mask. It will not be called. It's either 15 yards or nothing. That was 15 yards.
I like that. I didn't ever seem to agree with the interpretation whether it was a 5 or 15. Just make it 15.
Take it. You know, judgment calls. Try to get rid of them when you can. The NFL did that.
1st down at the 42. And Sammy Morris thrown down by Kerry Rhodes. That's the 2nd time Rhodes has been in the backfield. Had a tackle for a loss in that first quarter as well.
That's where experience comes into play, too. You know, as a quarterback, you cannot block that outside guy. You see Kerry Rhodes coming up. He's going to blitz. You got to change the running play, go to the other side, or do something instead of just going, well, we'll give up the down and lose 2 yards.
Well, that one actually lost 3, so that backs him up to the 39.
Jets are slowly creeping up. and getting more aggressive.
2nd and 13. Cassel fires it over there to Kevin Falk for 4 yards. Both teams breaking down in the red zone. That's the story of the first half so far. But Cassel, when he's throwing passes outside of the red zone in this game, is 8 for 8. He's 0 for 3 inside the 20.
Oh, you know what it is? I was just watching him. He got like, oh, I made a mistake. No. Randy Moss came open because of the throw. He was not open before you let it come out of your hand.
3rd and 9. Open, snaps it back. And taken off with it. Cassel. Really close.
Just short.
Yep.
Just short. And that is a good job. I thought that's something if you're a jet defender or a pass rusher, look out. When you blitz or play man-to-man coverage, the initial receiver's covered, he's going to pull it down and run.
That was something you thought we might see some of today, Cassel.
I actually thought, look, he is the starting quarterback now, so you got to be, your first job is to stay healthy and stay on the field.
That's right.
But when they got down on the inside, I thought they might spread it out and run a quarterback draw.
Cassel with so little experience, and he's backed up by rookie Kevin O'Connell, who's a 3rd-round pick out of San Diego State. And on 4th and less than a yard, the Jets used their last timeout. 4:51 to go in the first half. They had Chris Hansen, the punter, out there during the timeout. Hauled him back over. Sent the offense back out. 4th and about a foot.
I think they're going to go for it. I don't think they're going to do the old try to draw him offside. I have no really basis for my reasoning, except I just want to...
Just a little hunch play here.
It is absolutely less than 1 yard.
Interesting thing if they do. I mean, you've got a quarterback again with his first start. Now they're just going to run right off the field, bring the punt team out.
There we go.
And the Jets, do they have time to shift? They have no timeouts, remember. So the Jets can't do anything about it. Now they're telling Kerry Rhodes, get back, get back, get back. Total confusion on the Jets side. Hansen boots it. And into the end zone for a touchback. Pretty shrewd, though. No one really able to go realistically after it, go back and try to field it. He had a chance to make a play to down it inside the 10, and Hansen taking a little more off of that.
Well, what you do is you just play punt safe. You just play safe. Stay on the field.
Guys,
Punt them off guard a little, but the problem I would have is punting it in the end zone. They don't even really get anybody back, and you're trying to kick it down into inside the 5. Just hit a low punt, let it roll down there.
That's all you had to do there. Just chip it. And of course, you also, the genius there of that call is that you have no timeouts on the other side. The Jets can't do anything to try to, like, hold on a minute here.
Well, all you do is
switch units.
Play against the run.
Swing it over. Washington. Oh, what a move. Still in trouble, though. And will suffer about a 5-yard loss. And coming up, we've got the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. Coach Cowher, all the latest scores and highlights coming up on the Sprint halftime report. I think there was a common thread today in those early games. Big comebacks. That was something else. Indianapolis down 15-0. Come back to win it.
Oh, my gosh. That was some game. And that's
what a hole they would have been in had they lost that one. That's 0-2.
Jim, it's a case in point. When you get a chance, take advantage of it. Don't play for field goals in this league, especially even a beat-up Indianapolis line.
A 2nd down, 15. Jones with the catch, and again a completion and a 5-yard loss. Back-to-back plays. That has happened. Talking about all those comebacks. That's not the only one. Colts down 15. Redskins were down 9 late. And Carolina came back from 14 down. Bills were behind and won. Remarkable afternoon of action. Actually, Green Bay was down in the fourth quarter to Detroit and won as well. Third down, we'll call it 19. Again, Leon Washington trying to wiggle free. And Ronnie Harrison, Mike Vrabel stay with him. Mayo in the area also. Picks up 7, but the Jets are shut down. They complete 3 passes on the series and lose a yard overall.
Well, we even heard Brett Favre say, hard to trick this Patriots defense. They tried some short passes, a screen, but when they're always looking into the backfield, hard to get past that defense when they see that.
It's Kevin Falk waiting for Ben Graham. Angled to the sideline, way out and early. This might be over the other side.
About the 45.
Yeah.
That's pretty generous.
48-yard line. Just a 29-yard punt by Graham. Tuesday, September 23rd on CBS. What makes The Mentalist different from other crime dramas? You can see for yourself. Every Tuesday, starting again on the 23rd. Tuesdays this fall on CBS. 2:12 to go in the half. Watch a little 2-minute offense here by Cassel with 2 timeouts to operate with.
The good thing about the Patriots, they've played so much of spreading the defense out. This time they got Randy Moss in the slot. That tells me they're going to try to find a way to get it to him.
Thomas was crashing in and almost caught. And off the rebound, it was up free for a moment. Cassel shaken up.
Yeah, the pressure. Wes Welker coming underneath. Oh, Brian Thomas unblocked. Wow. You just can't make that mistake with your offensive line or the calling out of pass protections.
Cassel clutched that right kneecap for a moment, and now confusion and a handoff, and the Jets drop him. Sammy Morris was the ball carrier. Eric Barton comes up. We've got the 2-minute warning. 6-3 Patriots. Yeah, Matt Cassel, he's still walking around on a tender right leg.
His right knee. It's got to be his right knee, Jim. Will be able to. Got it caught in the ground just a little bit on that big hit by Brian Thomas.
3rd down and 12. There is Moss, short of the first. Jets gave him the underneath stuff. Revis on the tackle. Got 9, but they needed 12.
Well, Matt Cassel seems to, at least he jogged off the field that time, and looks like he's shaking it off a little bit, but definitely has a little limp.
Yeah, the Patriots tell us that Maroney has injured a shoulder, and his return is questionable. And Chris Hansen punting again near midfield. And they call timeout with 1 second on the play clock. 1:14 to go in the first half. All right, we're back. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, and the final 74 seconds of the first half. 6-3 New England. Hansen goes for the corner, and again, it's twice now. He's produced touchbacks. There is a flag.
Penalty marker down.
Illegal formation. Number 59 in the offense was not in the line of scrimmage. That penalty has been declined. 1st and 10.
Yeah,
New York
the Jets
Jets
will obviously refuse, and they start another drive. In fact, from the 20. This is the 5th straight time the Jets begin at their own 20.
Watch Matt Cassel's right foot.
There was a little awkward movement on that right leg. Did you see it?
Well, it was so fast, hard to tell. But right away, look at his right hand grabbing his knee. The hit came so quick, he couldn't even get his weight off. You lay on that back foot as a quarterback to throw a football, especially when you feel pressure coming. But he had that back foot planted, and he was hit before he could even lighten that pressure or fall with the hit.
So what the Jets do now with 106 and no timeouts. They forced the penalty, off the touchback, so that's why they're starting actually the 25 here. And Barr was taken down. Richard Seymour in there in a hurry.
Well, that'll end all hopes of trying to get this drive at the end. Hard to tell. Alan Faneca, the New England defense widened, and the offensive linemen weren't quick enough to get out of their stances and get wide with them.
New England's not going to try to stop it since they only have the one timeout left. They figure that's futile. Coming up, again, the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. Coach Cowher, all the latest scores and highlights, including Denver, San Diego going on against us right now. Darren Sproles returning a kick in that game. And Washington galloping up to the 32. San Diego is getting throttled 21-3 before the Sproles 103-yard run back. Still, the Broncos up big. That's going to close it out here. Both teams were moving it down, get shut down then inside the red zone. Patriots had a first and goal at the 5 on one series. Jets had a first and goal at the 3. No one has found the end zone. It's 6-3 New England. Back after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Get the new NFL Mobile Live, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.
We're back at the Meadowlands, East Rutherford, New Jersey, with the Patriots. 2 field goals by Stephen Gostkowski, leading it 6-3. Third quarter about to get underway shortly. The last time the Patriots didn't score a first half touchdown was their last regular season loss back in December of 2006 at Miami. They've won 20 consecutive regular season games since that time. They lead it here by a field goal. What about, though, Matt Cassel? Is that right knee going to be okay? We'll find out back after this message and a word from your local station. And remember, New England will get the football to begin the third quarter. They deferred after winning the coin toss to the second half. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms back here in New Jersey. We were watching Matt Cassel warm up, and he's looking pretty good out there right now, Phil.
Yeah, he's moving around well. I thought at the end of the first half, it was sitting there going, is he going to be okay? But he goes in halftime, they work on him, and no question warming up, he looks like he's fine now.
And a reminder, this game brought to you in high definition here on CBS. Do see his backup, though, still warming up on the sideline. Kevin O'Connell, just a rookie out of San Diego State. There he is.
Well, when you're the backup, warming up's a good thing. You always, I don't mean the starter's in trouble, but you stand over there, you want to keep loose, regardless of what's going on.
And Feely drives the kick to the goal line. Hobbs handles it, across the 20, and just a little more. That's all. Well covered by the Jets. Wallace Wright. So there it is. The last time without a touchdown in the first half. The last time they lost a regular season game.
Well, both teams going in at half have to feel like they lost opportunities. The Jets missing the field goal, not scoring a touchdown. The Patriots, they get their field goals, but also having the football twice on the Jets side of the 50-yard line and not even getting a chance to score had to be a little depressing too.
So Maroney is out with that shoulder injury. And we're told questionable to return. Cassel has to take another hit. And again, it's the same man inflicting the pain. It's Brian Thomas. He had 2 sacks last week. He's got another one here.
The New York Jets and the New England Patriots, what do they have in common? 3 down defensive linemen and really big outside linebackers who could almost be defensive linemen. And when you get Brian Thomas on David Thomas, a tight end, not a good match for the Patriots.
It's a 2nd down and 12. And that's Morris. Really pushed back at the 20 by David Harris and Chris Jenkins. Give him a yard, that's all. There you see the Jets.
Total yards, you know, as you look at that, Jim.
68 on the ground.
We would thought there was more because it looked like they were going up and down the fields, but it was just a fast first half, very few possessions. And you think, Matt Cassel, the knee, and the fact that they're getting to him, when you get hit as a quarterback, it makes you speed up the process of what you go through.
Cassel looked as though he could not hear, so they call the timeout.
One thing I've noticed with the Patriot coaches, Josh McDaniels, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, they're being very calm with Matt Cassel. And Bill Belichick not showing their emotions, keeping him calm, and that's what you do. Keep him calm during the game, yell at him on Monday.
3rd down, 11. They're after Cassel again, and they get him. 2nd sack on this series. David Barrett comes up first.
The pass protection, it's good. Initially, it's good. But who are you going to throw it to down the field? They got Wes Welker doubled inside. Can't throw it there. Revis against Moss. Covered. So, Matt Cassel, you either got to make the decision. Am I going to run or throw it away? He tried to run.
Hansen had the longest punt in the league. Week 1, 70-yarder. This is a good one. Washington fields it as he backpedals out of bounds. Cassel, they got to him twice on this first series of the 3rd quarter. Now we'll see the Jets' first try in the 2nd half.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. Verizon Wireless. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
And the Jets break huddle, come up to the line of scrimmage at the 23. First snap of the 2nd half for Favre and company. Here Thomas Jones. He gets past the line, but there is a flag. Stepping out, well beyond the chains. He had 36 yards in that first half, but it's coming back. This one is wiping out 15.
Replay, 1st down.
I think he said Damian Woody, right tackle. On the outside. Oh, yes, Richard Seymour is going to free up. Really good example. Oh, no, that was Ty Warren of what the Patriots love to do. Their defensive linemen like to stay right in the middle of the offensive linemen. They wait for the runner to come to them, and then they take him because they're all big and strong. They try to throw the lineman away, fall off, and make the tackle. Can't fall off and make the tackle, though, when they got a hold of him.
So the 1st and 20. Escapes the heat. He threw it past the line of scrimmage. And there is a flag. I believe he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw that to Coles.
Well, and I'm starting to understand what the Patriots are saying with patience. Like a forward pass.
Illegal forward pass. Number 4 offense. 5-yard penalty. Also includes loss of down.
Yeah, you lose a down on that one too. So that takes away a 13-yard play.
The blue line is the line of scrimmage. And he is
well past it.
Because I tell you, the interpretation of the rule, it's not like you got to have your whole body behind it or whatever. Your arm, any part, is on or behind the line of scrimmage. It would have been an illegal forward pass.
Well, wait a minute. Spotted the pass is where he threw it from.
Yes, sir. Where was it?
Brett looking around a little confused. I think it's almost 2 yards past the line of scrimmage.
13-yard line, and by the time he lets it go, yes, you're right, Jim. 2 yards past the line of scrimmage.
It'll make it a 2nd and 23. Bring in Stuckey as an extra receiver. Thomas Jones. Fortunate to gain a yard out of that. Ty Warren was about to drop him for a loss, but he picks up a yard. Harrison and Thomas come up at the 11.
Well, you know, we talk, and the one thing that was evident when you talk about this game today, the Patriots were not afraid of this Jets offense. As one of them would say, this is not the 2004 Indianapolis Colts where you go, my gosh, how are we going to stop them? Brett Favre's a great quarterback, but we feel like we match up against them well.
Favre being chased. Throws it. Got it. Stuckey for the first down. He improvises again for the big play. Had something like that in the first half. The 54-yard hookup with Coles. This goes for 28 yards.
We saw it last week with Brett Favre. He still moves around the pocket. He did it against the Dolphins, and this time, and not afraid to throw it down there. Look at the Patriots watching the football. Oh boy, what a hit. Mike Vrabel just
a little chest bump. So they pick up a first down on 3rd and 22. Now going as long as he can, heaving it down the sideline, and it is caught for the flag. That's Cotchery with the catch. O'Neal on the coverage.
offensive pass interference.
Pass interference, number 89 offense.
It's Cotchery. That's a 41-yard game wiped out. They had a 15-yard run by Jones on a hold, a 13-yard pass play on an illegal forward pass, and a 41-yard pass play called back on offensive pass interference.
Yeah, Cotchery took his left arm and pushed Delta O'Neal out of the way just enough to make the catch. Delta O'Neal saw the football the whole way, absolutely was playing it well. And, you know, I always say this. Hey, you go, oh, that wasn't that bad when you watch it in slow motion. When you're on the field and you see it full speed, you get a much better feel for it.
Brad Smith in the game. Lined up to the left for the Jets. Bruschi. A little toss to get rid of it in time. To Bubba Franks.
I'll tell you, how many is that? That's about 3 or 4 today. He is just limber and loose, and it is true. He just plays.
Got Bruschi on him rather quickly.
Yep.
Flings it over.
And Brett Favre said something that really came. He says, when you don't try to be too fancy on offense, when you don't try to put, you know, all these formations and movement, everybody knows what they're doing. And then as a player, you can be more instinctive. And that is so true. You know it inside out, you let your instincts take over.
Quite a play by Bruschi. Was in Favre's face and still came back, made the tackle for a 5-yard loss. Pass picked. Merriweather has it for New England and is brought down at the 30. Favre's first interception thrown as a Jet. Brandon Merriweather, the first-round pick a year ago out of the University of Miami.
He's going to give you a chance, and this is not a good decision by Brett Favre. It's an over and under. And look at him the whole way. He is turning and looking and wants to make sure he knows the situation. Going to be underneath. Here comes the coverage. The receiver comes out here. Look at the positions he's in. He's turned. His hips are open. He can go back and make the interception.
And Cassel He is sacked for the third time in this half. This one, Chris Jenkins. Boy, that Jets defensive front just busting through, Phil.
Overpowering Chris Jenkins. Tremendous run stopper. As Eric Mangini would say, he's the best in shape 360-pound person I've ever been around. And that's what's happened. Came from the Carolina Panthers in tremendous shape, and he's been a very good player for the first game and a half.
It's a 2nd and 15 from the New York 36. The draw to Falk. And basically he gets back the sack. Gain of 5. Drew Coleman on the head. At Cassel, this was the first half. We came up gimpy. Second half, 3 dropbacks and 3 sacks. Cassel, who spent the week watching no television, not reading any papers, not listening to all the analysis about what it would be like in his first start. Jets crowd has come to life on 3rd down and 10. They go screen with Falk. Walker in front, got the first down the sideline and inside the 10.
What timing.
Sam Hopen and Billy Yates throwing big blocks, Phil.
That's what it's about, Jim. Timing of play calls. That's what makes or helps an offense be really good. The Jets are having success, so they go, let's get to the quarterback. Look at the blocking down the field. That's Yates blocking David Harris. It allowed Kevin Falk to get in the open space and get those extra yards, but Jabbar Gaffney, wide receiver, down the field. New England, good screen team. Took advantage of it on that situation.
First and goal off the Favre interception. And it's Sammy Morris. Stopped for no gain. That's the 8th play inside the 20 run by the Patriots in this game. The Jets had 5 snaps inside the 20. We have not seen either side find the end zone.
You know, as I've done a lot of Patriot Jet games, and both teams, if I'd say there's one theme, they try to outthink the other one. And as I watch this game from above today, we're not outthinking. Nobody's trying to be too fancy. We're just about like that Brett Favre, outplay them, out-hit them, and just be the tougher football player.
Moss in a slot to the right. Had a big game here last year to open the season against the Jets. And at the end of the season against the Giants here, it's Cassel looking for a second option. There is a flag at the line of scrimmage. It's Welker trying to back in for the touchdown. They have him down at the 1, and we'll check the flag. Looked like Dwight Lowry was shaken up, the Jet rookie corner.
What do? Take the 5 or you take it 3rd and inside the 1?
Offside, number 92 defense. That penalty is declined.
You got head coach of potential.
3rd.
There you go. Doesn't take that much, huh?
Good job on the snap count. I like this. Matt, good protection. And then when he escapes, stay back. He looked it off, and that's what uncovered Wes Welker out in the right flat. The fact that he looked in the back of the end zone for Randy Moss.
Randy Moss came back and had a word or two with his quarterback. 3rd and goal. Vrabel's in. It's Morris up and in for the game's first touchdown. Sammy Morris. Some serious hang time for Sammy. And the Patriots cash in off the interception.
Well, you wondered, I was sitting here wondering, can you even run off tackle in these situations? Because both these teams built to stop it. But the initial surge is good by the Patriots, and it allows Sammy Morris a chance to jump up and score the touchdown.
Gostowski, who didn't miss all of last year, 74 out of 74, adds the extra point. 10-point lead now for New England. It just took him 6 plays off the turnover to find the end zone. Screen pass, the big play to Falk. There's Merriweather, who had the pick on the far. Gostowski again is not going to see a kick return. Jets back out to the 20. This was the turnover. And this the touchdown. This the reaction as New England leads at 13-3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sears. This season, find everything you need to fall forward, only at Sears. And by Chili's. Trust Chili's to get your to-go order right and right on time. Chili's, pepper in some fun.
And the Jets find themselves in a familiar spot at the 20. And they're down 10. Holes, and it slips right off his fingertips. Favre talked openly about the fatigue in that heat last week down in Miami, and it's close to 90 degrees today and high humidity.
So what are you asking me?
You see a little fatigue on that face right now?
No, I do not.
I do.
And I said it to you last week. I can notice it in the quarterback, or I think I do. I could tell last week he admitted it. But no, yeah, he's running around a lot, but I still think he's fresh.
Jones, I thought maybe that pass that was picked didn't have a lot on. Of course, there's a little breeze he's throwing into, and a long ball to Cotry was underthrown.
Here's why that pass that was picked was a little short. Because there was a big guy in his face, and he had to kind of stay back.
And the one before that?
And what was the one before that?
The one with the Cotry? He had to come back and interfere.
Brett Favre thought he was 25 years old and he's going to throw it 80 yards. That's all happened there. So, yeah, the interception, without question, there was I can't remember which defender was in his face, couldn't step in it. That's why it came up short.
We've got a 3rd down and 6. To anything. Good grab, but it's going to lose yardage. Bubba Franks.
But again, we talk about the Jets, and I've said this a lot. I said, wow, this Jets offense is going to change. Brett Favre and all the other variables that I've talked about so much this preseason. When we brought it up to the Patriots to go, we know the offense. It's nothing that we haven't seen. We know it. It's Brett Favre, what he did in Green Bay. Some of the Jet stuff mixed up. We've got it. That's why they said to us, we are not afraid of it.
One first down in the last 4 series. It's Falk, open running room, back into New York territory again, and well set up on the return, plus aided by a low kick. Graham has been struggling these first 2 weeks. The Patriots set up in excellent position. Each quarterback with 11 completions for similar yardage. Cassel, this is the 6th time a player has made his first NFL start at quarterback against Brett Favre. The other 5, 0-5. No one's ever beaten Favre in his first start. Cassel hands it off. That's Lamont Jordan, the former Jet.
You know, Jim, you know what my favorite thought of the week was? When everybody talked about the Patriots and Tom Brady out and all this, and Matt Cassel taking over. Now we're going to see if Bill Belichick can coach. Coach Levin, yeah. I think
you got to prove it to me now.
Yeah, I think the jury's out. I think he's already proven that he's going to be a Hall of Fame coach.
You think? The 2nd down and 5, back to Lamont Jordan. And Jordan rumbles near another first. It's not too late to play free fantasy football on NFL.com. Log on and sign up today at NFL.com/fantasy.
Did you win last week in your fantasy football contest?
I haven't checked the results yet. Okay. All about game preparation. What was the thing that Cassel was talking about? That practice preparation becomes game reality.
Well said.
Rolling out, first down, pass, and just throwing it away.
There you go.
It was Mike DeVito.
You know, I say there you go. You know, it's kind of a hard thing to learn as a quarterback. Give up on the play and just throw it away. Don't throw the interception. Don't take the hit.
2nd and 10.
DeVito in the face of Cassel. May have gotten a fingertip on that one. At the very least hit the arm of Cassel on the release. Moss with 1 catch in this game for 8 yards.
Sooner or later, Randy Moss has got to be one-on-one and go down the field.
Lamont Jordan. And he barrels ahead again behind Logan Mankins for 8.
What they did so well last week against Kansas City. Spread the field, and then you're thinking pass, and then hand it off inside.
Third down. And 2.
Got a third and a short 2 coming up. Jordan seeing his first action of this game, and he's run hard on 3 carries. Time, and he delivers. Picks up the first. Monday, September 22nd. TV's #1 comedy returns with a shocking twist. You got to see it to believe it. 2.5 Men season premiere Monday, September 22nd, right here on CBS. 2.5 to go in the third quarter. There's the offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, and he's got to, it's different for him, too. He used to just say, hey, Tom, here's the football, throw it for us. Put the responsibility in your hands.
When you look at McDaniels, you can't help but think about Brady because that relationship is so close. And it's got to be painful for Tom to be sitting back right now and watching this game and know you got to go through the whole season like this.
What did Rodney Harrison say?
It's wrenching.
He goes, it's awful. And it just gets worse as the year goes along because Rodney Harrison basically missed a whole football season and sat home and watched the games on Sunday. Several
years back, he got injured with the same injury week 3 at Pittsburgh, and he told Tom, you're in for a long, boring time at home. Going to be able to work on your patience. Sammy Morris pushed back for a loss. Over the years, some league MVPs that the following season that missed a lot of games. Remember the Montana?
Yep, I remember.
91.
I remember Terrell Davis, Kurt Warner, Rich Gannon. I remember that too. Yes.
We do wish all the best to Tom in his recovery. He was at the quarterback meeting yesterday in Foxborough before the team left for the trip down here. And here's Kevin Falk. Running hard, about a yard shy of the first. Falk was out last week, suspended, so seeing his first game action. 4th and a yard, and they're going to bring out Gostowski.
Well, they're going to kick the field goal, and if you've watched this game so far, you have to go. If you're whatever fan you are, can the Jets drive down the field and score 2 touchdowns?
Good from 21 and 37 already in this game. This one is 28 yards. 28's the number. He drives it through. On that series, they ran it 7 times, passed once. Gostowski 3 for 3 today. Cassel got a lot of high fives from the coaching staff on the sidelines when he came over. I want to remind everyone that next Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS puts on Florida and Tennessee. It all begins with Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman, our guys in the studio for the TIAA Prep College Football today at 3. Florida and Tennessee next Saturday on CBS.
You think about this Patriot team, they've played very well here today. Just the number of really good players. And, if you go back even before last year when they had that record-setting offensive display in so many ways by Tom Brady, Randy Moss, points, the team, they won a lot of games where they would win 20-10, 21-7. They had a different style to them, of course, until they acquired all the wide receivers and just gave it to Tom Brady and said, go.
You saw Maroney sitting down. He's missed most of this one. Early shoulder injury. Aggravated. That's Stuckey downing it. And just all day long, the Jets begin at the 20. 1 first down picked up over the last 4 possessions by the Jets. Well, last week, Brett Favre told us going into that game against the Dolphins that he knew about 75% of the playbook, and obviously able to ratchet up a bit with an extra week of practice. He said last week just try to keep it simple.
Yep.
You know, we invested a lot of money in that offensive line, and we let Thomas run with the ball. What do you think you've seen so far as
playing a different defense today, that's for sure.
That's true.
When we could feel the confidence the Jets had about where they've progressed even in 1 week.
There's Jones. Nice move to get outside, and that's a gain of about 5. Mayo was running after him.
But I think they knew when you play this Patriots defense, you're not going to beat them just running the football. You need to make some big plays in the passing game. Besides Brett Favre moving around, they haven't done it.
Patriots put up 10 in the quarter. 16-3. New England will return after this message and a word from your local station. We start the fourth quarter. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, New England with a big third. Touchdown from the yard out by Morris. The field goal by Gostowski. This play action here by Favre. It's over to Cole. He has the grab for the first down.
And that's the Jets. First down.
In order, the Jets starting field position in this game. At the 20, the 20, the 20, the 20, their own 25, their own 23, the 20, and the 20.
Wow.
While the Patriots have had 4 series start in Jet territory alone.
Credit to the Jet defense.
It is. First down picked up by the Jets on this first play of the fourth. And Favre dumps it over. Thomas Jones, a little tightrope. Near another first. Give him 8 yards.
Well, it's not been easy for Brett Favre. There's the interception and the pressure in his face. And you look at their passing game so far today, Jim, it's really Brett Favre moved around twice and got over half the yardage just by his moving and making a very good throw.
Second down and 2 just across the 40. Another first down picked up. What a nice move. A cut by Jones and a stiff arm on O'Neal before he's bounced out inside the 45 of New England.
Boy, Thomas Jones looks so quick with the football in his hands. And good play calling by Brian Schottenheimer. Don't abandon the run. Long way to go. You probably got 3 possessions still left in this game. And that's a couple of good runs on this drive. Make the Patriots come up and play.
It picks up 16. Work the middle. And some quick contact on him by Adalius Thomas for no gain.
You know, it's amazing. I say to myself all the time, I watch a lot of football, and I watch preseason football. A lot of people don't, but I watch the Patriots. I go, well, maybe they will. This will be the year. They look a little older. They look slower. But, you know, then I watch the first game, and I see them here today in person, Jim. They don't look real slow, do they?
They're still flying around.
You know, that's 6 months. Guys don't go downhill that much in 6 months.
Second down and 10. Jimmy Richardson. Mayo with the immediate hit. Bruschi also in on the play. Bruschi, one of those that you're talking about. You know, when they saw last week that Brady went down with that injury early against Kansas City, Rodney Harrison was telling us that he looked over at Bruschi and Vrabel and Seymour and said, hey, guys, we got to do it. Let's do it. Not going to feel sorry for ourselves. Let's just go win some games. Like, you know, before it was Welker and Moss and all the high-scoring things that were happening last year, it's kind of amplifying what you were saying. You know, people used to credit how that defense would win games for them. Well, they're ready to go back and do that again. 3rd and 6 for New York from the 39. Right on target to the rookie tight end, Dustin Keller. A 19-yard play.
That is a good match. Number 81, bottom of your screen. Dustin Keller, first-round draft pick against Adalius Thomas. I think we all kind of wait. Brett Favre stays in the pocket, falls back, gives himself that extra time that Keller from Purdue, the first-round draft pick's got the speed, and usually, or a lot of times, he's going to get matched up against the linebacker, so you'd like to look for him more.
So New York moving it, and it's Coles. They were well off of him at the line of scrimmage, and Favre took advantage of it. Hobbs gave him too much space, and it picks up almost 10.
Yeah, that was a play where it was a running play, but the option is Brett Favre can take advantage of it and throw a quick pass outside if he wants. He does it, and Lavernius Coles, that's why you do it. If the defender's off, catch it, and then make him miss to a degree where you can get 3 or 4 extra yards.
He picked up the first down. It's 1st and goal. Thomas Jones. What a hole they had up the middle. And driving the pile to within a yard.
What a drive. And this is a drive you got to say the New York Jets offensive line is making it happen.
They're in the hurry up here, Phil. Right back to the line. Favre wants everyone set. He's frustrated. They weren't ready to go. He thought he had them. Timeout called.
Timeout.
New England. This was actually an official timeout because of an injury. And watch James Sanders, 36, take this hit from Thomas Jones.
Wow.
Almost pops his helmet off.
Pops his helmet off. He was bleeding.
This is why Favre was upset, because the player was down. They weren't able to execute. 2nd and goal. Spread it out, and they throw for it. And open is Stuckey for the touchdown. Chancey Stuckey with a touchdown for the 2nd straight week.
Rodney Harrison man-to-man, and that's what they counted on. That they would get the outside receiver, cause a traffic jam, and Stuckey wide open, uncovered, touchdown.
You know, last week he caught what was essentially a Hail Mary. Talking about Stuckey. This a little more orthodox, if you will, conventional. Favre leads him down the field. Jones with some big-time rushes, too, and the Jets are within 1 possession.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored in high definition by Sony. High definition, it's in Sony's DNA. The Home Depot, the official home improvement sponsor of the NFL. And by FedEx, your ultimate NFL air and ground player.
A little intensity in that face, too.
Yeah, the crowd, it's got some energy and some noise.
Ed, it's his season debut. Been harnessing that for a while, and again.
Where was he last year?
I guarantee he was here. You got to give us due.
Here we go. Brett Favre, running situation. Look at the protection now. Look at Rodney Harrison to the inside. He has no chance to fight his way through the receiver and his own player before the touchdown. And you know, they say, oh, this is a pick. It's legal when his own man gets in his way.
The Jets had
well designed.
Yeah, no question. They had 7 first downs for the game before that last drive. That one produced 5 first downs alone.
We'll talk a lot about Brett Favre, but Thomas Jones, he's the one keeping him in this game.
Now Cassel on the slant. He's got Moss, but a flag. His 2nd catch of the game, but will it hold up?
12 men on defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play. 1st and 10.
Give Moss the reception. And 14 yards.
That was nice. Something we see Randy Moss last year when you watched the Patriots play. There was a time you go, wow, every time he runs a pass pattern, it's deep down the field. And every once in a while, you got to throw it underneath to make the defenders realize it's not always just trying to protect against a big play.
Timeout called by Cassel. Well, it's been a day of big comebacks in those early games. The Jets were down in this one by 13 earlier. Yeah, Woody Johnson, the chairman and CEO of the Jets, they just opened a new facility, training facility in Florham Park, New Jersey. Spectacular. Really gives this team and this franchise like a foundation. They were so far away from Giant Stadium when they were training all those years out on Long Island. Now on first down, it's Cassel. That's Thomas, the tight end, and he's got enough for a first. Well, Woody Johnson pacing. Tom Kraft sitting back with son Jonathan, wife Myra.
TV time there. Nice.
First catch of the game for Thomas. 9.5 to play. Throw it down the field for the first time. It's a wobbler, but it's caught. No, it's dropped by Moss at the 10-yard line. It was not a clean release by Cassel.
No, it wasn't. He felt pressure coming from his right side. And when you try to put that extra oomph on the ball sometimes, that's when you lose control of it. Oh, and I don't think Randy Moss was supposed to run that route. When you see him raise their hand, he noticed that Darrelle Revis was maybe playing the inside route, so he just went right by him.
That's really the first time they've allowed Cassel to throw it down the field today.
The throw was still good enough to be caught.
Revis, though, got a hand in. Second down, 10, and Jordan for about 8. It's down to the final two house guests, and it's every man for himself. Tune in tonight and Tuesday. Find out who will win. Big Brother right here on CBS. So they move the ball behind Jordan's run into the Jets side of the field. It's a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Well, the Patriots have run a couple different plays out of the shotgun to the lone running back there. So if you're the Jets defensive line, you just can't sell out going to the quarterback.
And a timeout called by New York.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Charles Schwab. Premium service. Expect it. Don't pay it. Talk to Chuck. Charles Schwab.
Patriots have won the last 7 years here against the Jets. They've won 20 consecutive regular season games. They lead in this one by 6. Nearing the midway point of the fourth quarter, a crucial 3rd and 2. Cassel gets it away, and a flag is thrown. It's going to be roughing the quarterback. That's Calvin Pace in on Cassel.
Really clever what they did.
Number 97 defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Comes after the ball was caught by Sammy Morris.
Yeah, they get Sammy Morris going across the formation, and they make who was covering him fight his way through 2. Calvin Pace comes unblocked. It's, oh, yes. I couldn't see it from the other angle. Helmet to helmet. Oh, yeah, that's a big play. He knows it. A field goal is as good as a touchdown. But well designed and kind of resembled what the Jets did down on the goal line.
Welker, as Cassel waited for that to unfold.
They had a defender fight through 2 wide receivers.
That gains 4. CBS is pleased to join the NFL in helping the Red Cross in its efforts to aid those affected by hurricanes and other natural disasters. Text the word GIVE to the number 24357 and donate $5 to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. Standard text messaging rates may apply. Learn more at redcross.org. The 2nd down 6. Jordan. Every time he touches it, he's creating something, and that's another first down carry by Jordan for 9 yards.
Boy, he looks a lot like Corey Dillon from years ago. Remember when the Patriots got Corey Dillon? All of a sudden, he just became a battering ram And Lamont Jordan couldn't get it done in the eyes of many people with the Raiders, but a new role here with the Patriots.
Also out at Oakland, he was very effective catching the ball out of the backfield. Haven't seen that so far today, but 42 yards all coming in this half. They go back to him again. He fumbles for about 3.
Yeah, but you see the running back, and I notice it sometimes, not always, because I'm not a defender looking for it, but when the running back lines up deeper than the quarterback, then there's a pretty good chance they're going to hand the ball off to him. And that time, it was very noticeable. How about this drive, though? The Jets get it going. The crowd's fired up. And what do the Patriots do? They come out, they throw the ball. Didn't try to protect the lead. Trying to win the game.
2nd down 7. Again, Jordan gets the call, 1 yard this time. Favre waiting for his chance. He was hoping to be able to come out here still just down 1 score, but you made the point a moment ago why that completion and penalty was so big. The Patriots moved into field goal range, and now, you know, inching closer inside the 10.
I would think this play will have one characteristic to it that, well, I'm assuming it will. It will be really safe.
3rd down and 6. And he saw the down clock, the play clock about to expire. Cassel called for the timeout. They granted to him. And that is it for New England. Out of timeouts.
Timeout, New England. 30-second timeout.
Jets still have 2. Next Sunday's another doubleheader day on CBS. And the Bengals going to be a little desperate coming in here, taking on the 2-0 Giants. Bengals fall to 0-2 today. That'll be the anchor early game, while late most of you will see Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. It all begins with the NFL today at noon Eastern time next Sunday right here on CBS.
Got a chance to watch the show today and really enjoyed it. Some of the things were said. Coach Cowher gave a pep talk.
Little chalk talk.
Little chalk talk, pep talk, whatever. Well said. Well, talking about the Patriots and losing Tom Brady.
Yep, and a lot of what he said has applied here. 3rd and 6. Pass is deflected. That was a tough one to get in there to David Thomas. May have been deflected by Calvin Pace first.
It was. What happened? Matt Cassel sees David Thomas back in the end zone. He's open, and he's just going to drive it in there before Eric Barton can get there. But Calvin Pace, 6'5", just nips it with his. He knows it.
Gostowski, 3 for 3 today, 8 for 9 in his career here at Giant Stadium. 27 yards. And the kick again down the center lane. And the Jets are down 9.
Well, the Jets still have 2 timeouts, a 2-minute warning, so it's very possible they can get 2 possessions out of this football game. So the big thing is, which we noticed in week 1 of NFL football, if they get to a certain spot on the field, instead of just milking the clock and trying to score that touchdown, when you get a chance, kick that field goal. And I'm specifically referring to the Giants and Redskins opening game. Jim, if you remember.
I remember. You know, we were watching that Minnesota-Indianapolis game today, and you just sensed it coming the whole way through that the Vikings were getting kind of sucked into that thought about, hey, we're going to just take a field goal here. We'll be content with this. We'll be able to control it the rest of the way. And boom, all of a sudden it started to click for the Colts, and they came back and won it after being down by 15.
Their defense was playing great, which we say all the time. I mean, once you put your offense into a shell, hard to bring it out. Hard for a quarterback to start pulling the trigger like out of nowhere. Oh, okay, we need you now. Make a play. Well, Sorry. It's not how it works.
Gostowski forced to just to begin at the 20 again. Well, no, they'll have Leon Washington running it back. And it's still going to be at the 20. That was Ventrone with the hit.
David Thomas beats Eric Barton right off the football. In fact, it happened so fast that I think it was hard for Matt Cassel to get it out of his hand quick enough. And Calvin Pace, reading the quarterback, really nobody to cover, is able to jump up and knock it down. But Thomas went to the end, was just so free, got out there so quick. When you're in the shotgun as a quarterback, you need a little time to catch the football and adjust it in your hand before you let it go.
Come right out, shotgun, empty backfield. For only 5 minutes, down 2 score. Stuckey, still not down. And he's going to remind Lewis Sanders here that you still haven't tackled me. Well, Favre first came to New York City on a senior class trip in high school, fall of 1987. One of 40 students that came up from Mississippi that saw the Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty, Wall Street, the United Nations, and a Broadway show. And he would love to put on a little show of his own here. Somehow spark some sort of big-time comeback with 4.5 to go. The pressure in his face. Slings him down at the 4. That's Adalius Thomas.
Give the Patriots some credit. They didn't fall into the trap and just rush 3 guys. When you want to stop an offense, and look what happens. Adalius Thomas gets against Leon Washington. What a mismatch in size and everything else. Too tough of a job to ask of Washington to blocking.
Thomas sacks not only Favre, but Washington also.
Wow. That's what, when the Patriots, just like the Jets, outside linebackers, tall, big, and got long arms.
That was a 20-yard sack. And 3rd down, batted down by Hobbs. So this possession defined by one play, a big one by Thomas.
And here, crowd yells. They want pass defend. When you see Brett Favre is just hoping for a miracle call there, but no doubt you have to punt the football in a situation like this.
Graham. Yeah, he was due for one, but there's no coverage down there. He kicked it so far. And Falk again returns it across the 50. Jets do have the 2 timeouts, but only 3:45 remaining. Flashback to the last time New England won a game that wasn't started by Tom Brady. December 17th, 2000. Patriots beat the Bills 13-10 in overtime on Adam Vinatieri's 24-yard field goal. Wow. Vinatieri, who won a game with 3 seconds to go today for the Colts.
I think as we did this game too, and you know, I don't know the outcome. I wish I did. I can't pick these games. But when we left the Patriots last night, we both looked at each other and go, pretty fired up, pretty confident.
Very confident bunch.
Just the way they talk, the way they act, they believed in their plan, they were relaxed, and it's all showed here today.
Lamont Jordan with a burst of speed that maybe New England didn't know that he had. And David Thomas helped free him. That goes for 11.
Well, it is amazing. Atmosphere, the environment you're in, no matter how much you want to play and all the other things that are said, you get in this environment of good players, pros, guys that act the right way, don't showboat, they don't talk a lot to the press. It's amazing how you fall in line and become a better player.
Patriots 70 yards on the ground this half, the bulk of it coming from Jordan. 3 minutes to go and a new set of downs. And effortlessly ahead for 5 more.
Thomas with the tackle.
Jordan in his career with the Jets, well, he was backing up Curtis Martin most of the time in his 4 seasons. He averaged almost 5 yards a carry when he got a chance to play. Got the big fat contract to go out to Oakland. He had a 1,000-yard season once out there and a 70-catch year. Here's what he did in New York. How about this? Maroney is back. He has been sitting for about 3 quarters. His shoulder nick. He's back in, getting the handle, and that won't make him feel any better. Maroney decked for a loss.
Well, this was a physical game. The Jets showed a lot. The score is whatever. Even though they're going to lose this game, they showed they're a powerful team that can stand up there and slug it out with the Patriots.
2-minute warning. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms back here with New England leading at 19-10. And I know all you folks heard it too all week long that, hey, this AFC East, it's wide open now. Maybe it's time for the Jets. I even heard Super Bowl talk around here this week. You look at it here, New England's about to go to 2-0. Buffalo, by the way, also 2-0 in a team that's greatly improved.
A lot of good players on New England. I think we reestablished that today here. But remember, it's 2 games. And I say this to everybody, and I mean it. The NFL season, it takes about 5 twists and turns. So let's don't try and draw a conclusion to the whole year after 2 games.
That's Sammy Morris coming up just short of the first. It's 4th and about 3 on the way. And when this game ends, we're going to be sending all of you out to Denver, where a wild one is taking place. The Broncos lead it 31-30. We were out for that game last year in Denver. Wasn't quite the same kind of excitement, was it? That was the most lopsided game we've ever seen together in our 5 years. But not today, so we'll be getting you there for the finish. How about Brett Favre's day today, Phil?
Well, he threw an interception. He made a few plays by moving around. He did throw a touchdown, but the opportunities, they have not been abundant. I'm not going to look back to this game and go, oh, wow, if Brett Favre would have played better, they would have won the game. I don't know. I did not see receivers consistently open down the field.
4th and 3. And Welker, they have him down. He's got the first down, and that will put it away.
You know, Dim, just to go back to about drawing conclusions, I say it every year. I'll be careful about preseason, but I draw conclusions during it. I thought Detroit's defense is going to be one of the biggest surprises of the NFL season. That's worked out well the first 2 weeks. So,
minute and 25 to go, and for once, and we've been together for so many of these Belichick-Mangini matchups, there was no talk about those two going into this one this week. It was all, of course, rightfully so, about Cassel and Favre starting here at home as Evans gets the carry. You know, the Patriots had won 19 consecutive games in the regular season, scoring in all 19 of those games. They scored at least 20 points. Unless they break one here in the last minute, they're going to win for the 2nd straight week to start this year under 20 points. This defense, it has said it's ready to step up, make a difference. You know, let us make the plays. Just don't turn it over on the other side.
well, I think they proved last year, Jim, as we watched them play, and I said to me, they did it with the running game sometimes. Their defense was outstanding. They did it with short passes. There's a lot of ways to be as good as they are for so many years. You got to have a lot of different ways to win a football game.
There is a flag. Sean Ellis just tossed his helmet. Cassel, and there's Ellis, who actually was a first-round pick by the Jets, who kind of roundabout through San Francisco, moving up the draft, but he was really a pick that came over as a compensation pick for Belichick going from the Jets to New England. Cassel about to become the first quarterback to ever start against Favre in his debut and win.
Snap, false start, number 82. By rule, the clock was running, so this foul includes a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock to 19 seconds. We'll start on the ready for play.
Cassel realizes there's no need to even take another snap. He's got to win in his first start. Mistake-free.
Yeah, I thought Matt Cassel has got to be proud of the way he played today. And I know the coaching staff's going to be happy with his performance, too.
And a brief exchange. Not icy at all this time. All right, that's the story here. 1910, New England wins it. Let's go to James Brown in the studio.